Yeah, an underwater horror movie in January. January horror movie. I know what you're thinking. I get it. Underwater. So Underwater is a horror movie that you want to know where it takes place? Guess where it takes place. Yeah, underwater. Not the most creative title, a bit on the nose. Takes place in the Mariana Trench, or the Marianas Trench, I've heard both. A place so deep in the ocean that fewer people have been there than have walked on the moon, which is a crazy thought. And this facility starts falling apart down there, so the small crew has to leave that facility, go on the ocean floor, walk across the ocean floor to another facility. Hopefully get to safety. All the while, there might be monsters. I'm gonna get right into it because this movie actually got right into it, which I appreciate. I mean, you meet Kristen Stewart, and before you know it, this place is exploding and collapsing in on itself. It's actually quite intense. And among that intense scene, I was like, maybe this movie's not gonna be garbage. I mean, not complete garbage. Maybe there's hope. I appreciate it. Thank you, January horror movie, for just kind of getting into it and not wasting our time. Kristen Stewart's the main star of this movie. Like I said, it's a very small crew, which also I like. When you have a claustrophobic horror movie, you know, fewer people, it makes for better tone. It makes for a more isolated feeling. But Kristen Stewart's good because I've seen Kristen Stewart be good. She was good in this. She's been good in other things. In fact, she just... Look, we're gonna move past Twilight here because I went through my phase of everyone in Twilight sucks forever, which then YouTube happens as life happens. You know, people grow, they mature, their perspectives change, and now I'm left with the realization that if anyone on Earth was contractually obligated to word vomit those Twilight scripts, they probably couldn't have done any better. So yeah, she was good in this movie. Also, this movie has good tone. It's not like you've never seen this movie before in terms of tone or premise. The initial facility they're in is like collapsing in on itself, so a lot of times the water's up to here, which means no power, a lot of flashlights, you know, water's always dripping from the ceiling, everything's wet. It kind of reminded me, I know you think I'm gonna say Alien, I'm not, though also Alien. But it kind of reminded me of that movie Pandorum, which was another real surprise when that movie came out. I didn't think I was gonna like that. And I like Pandorum, so when I say I actually enjoyed Underwater, take that into consideration. If you hate Pandorum, who knows, maybe you'll hate this. I mean, Underwater's not as good as Pandorum, but in terms of tone, there was something very familiar about this. Maybe it was just because I was surprisingly entertained by this as well. TJ Miller is also in this movie. I was like, is he gonna ruin the tone? He really didn't. I mean, he still has his TJ Miller-isms. He's definitely the comic relief, but he kind of reminded me of Hudson from Aliens, but he's the comic relief character, and he actually does work in this movie. Also, a couple of editing choices. I was like, I don't know if you just ran out of budget or you're just trying to save time, but a couple of times it was just like, and black. All right, guys, we got the door closed. I'm glad we made it to this room now. How did you make it to that room? Editing. Cause budget. Had to have been something like that. Which, to their credit, they do make that dollar stretch. They actually use it to their advantage. One, you don't see this thing out there that's possibly trying to kill them. You don't ever get a good shot of anything, just quick glimpses, just the tail end of something. If it was deliberate, great, glad you know that showing the monster actually makes it less scary. And if it was because of budget, this is one of those scenarios where lack of money actually made for something more creative. Also, when they're underwater walking, it's very dark, and I imagine there's a lot of CGI used because I don't think they took deep sea diving lessons. I don't think James Cameron's directing this one. I don't think he was like, everyone needs to learn this. So I just assume CGI, but in a world where you're always kicking dust up and it's that deep and that dark, it's always murky. It's always murky. It's never bright. It's really dark. And so anything's only ever half focused and half blurry. So I get the feeling the consensus was we could use CGI here because it doesn't really have to be clear CGI. A couple of jump scares, yeah, but they're sci-fi jump scare. For some reason, to me, they feel different. They're not. Logistically, they're the same thing. Something jumps at the camera and you freak out. There's something about sci-fi creature jump scare that feels different than ghost in the bedroom jump scare. Maybe it's because it's a living thing. Of course it's gonna jump at me. Ghosts, they don't have to do that. I scared you. What was the point of that, dick? But also, this movie has a few moments of genuine intensity. I was like, I don't know who's gonna live and who's gonna die, and we'll see how it goes down. Again, the movie by its premise, it feels a bit redundant. It's not like this is the most unique and original premise in Hollywood history. It's not even close. This is about as cliche as it gets. I think I saw a 3-second YouTube ad for it. So when I was sitting there waiting for this movie to come on, I was like, okay, let's watch a movie that should have come out between 1989 and 1997 or 2020. Better late than never. But I will not lie to you. By the end of this movie, I was like, I was entertained. I'll say Underwater was a fun time, no alcohol required. If you're a fan of claustrophobic monster horror, especially if it's underwater, and you don't care how cliche it can get in parts, I think you might have fun with this. That's all I could say. All right, so Underwater, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Are you looking forward to watching it? Is it not even on your radar because you didn't know it existed until just now? Or what's your favorite claustrophobic horror movie, underwater or otherwise? Whatever it is, whatever you think, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.